Be sure to follow Discombobulated on
Patreon.
For as little as $1. For just $1 a month, you can get bonus content like this.
Make sure you sign up for just $1. $1? That is so cheap, it's the lowest you can bid on The Price is Right. And inflation's not getting this show. We're keeping it at $1. $1, Bob!
Oh, yes. Welcome back to Discombobulated. I hope you're having a good day. Here it is January 20th, 2025. Happy Martin Luther King Day to you. Happy MLK Day. Happy happy inauguration if you're celebrating that. And I highly doubt today if you're off work, I don't know how many conjoined parties there are of that. I'm not a very political guy. I mean, in my head, I don't say it. I don't because I don't know how to because then someone will be like, "Would you ever heard of that?" I'm like, I don't. I'm very much just want to talk about farts, but I doubt that there are any devout people who are very pumped for today for both. But that's just my guess, and that's how I started the podcast. I guess. Cool, great, grand. It's going to fucking snow in Texas. That's not why I moved here. It's going to fucking snow tomorrow. Oh my God. And everyone that from where I'm at in St. Louis, everyone's like talking about the snow. And I'm like, hey, we're not all having snow, buddy. Some of us, they're like, I can't believe this snow. You can live anywhere you want to. Well, my kids started school. No one made you have those. That's something that's a joke that I have in my act. That's something I talk about is that I think actually the people who aren't parents, we are the tougher ones. Everyone's like, oh, being a parent's so hard. I'm not saying it's not, but we're the tougher ones. We're the ones pulling out. We're like, oh, no way. Not the rest of my life. And you guys are like, go ahead. No, but you're all beautiful children of God. I do think that's going to happen. I do think that we're all going to have to be, I do think you probably have to become Christian. I do think you're going to have to become, I do think that might be something that's coming up next is you have to become a registered Christian. And I think that I'm not very political, but I do think that Trump was like very much like, there's only two genders. And here's what's crazy. They're going to pick it for me and they're going to be like female. I'll be like, what? I'm a guy. They're like, yeah, right. Shave that beard and you're a lady. Do it like a lady. The song of Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and here's what I hope happens is that I hope we all just we just don't talk. No, we really need to talk. Guys, I'll be honest, we all really need to talk. But then you start talking and you'll hear someone that you like and you hear them say something crazy and you're like, why? You didn't have to say that. They're like, well, I just want to let you know what I believe. I'm like, no, I don't care. Who cares what you believe? Like anymore. Like no one, I haven't heard someone and I'm like, that's a good, it's like if someone says something and you're like, yeah, of course. I think people should be able to have water. Holy fucking shit. I agree. I don't know if anyone disagrees with you on that. And I know some people are like, there are. Yeah. What? Yes. And guess what? They own the water. This is why I don't talk about politics, because all of a sudden I'm just like, water. You ever had it? Take it from me. I don't even need it. I don't drink it until all of a sudden I almost pass out and I go, fuck, I need that shit so electricity works in my body. Which is crazy. You need water and your body runs on electricity. People are like, that was a crazy idea you had. I'm like, yeah, because it's like zip zap. It's just a little bit of an improv game we learn. I saw a TikTok the other day, or a fucking thing on the internet that was like, it was like, yeah, of course I had a weird idea. It's like my brain is just meat with electricity in it. And I was like, yeah, it's not. Yeah. People are like, Bobby, that was a dumb thought. No. Look at this thing someone thought up on Twitter who's not a doctor and cooler and funnier than any doctor. And now TikTok is back. It was gone. I literally went to check and it was just back. And I was like, I knew it. I'm a witch. I knew it. They took away Vine, but Vine wasn't... Vine was, people were still kind of making like jokes about it, and not everyone was on it. And then I just think that TikTok was, I'm like, they're not going to take it away. And then that day it was just everyone's like, it's either snowing here or they took away TikTok. And people that don't even post about TikTok talking about TikTok. But here I am talking about TikTok, and it's just to get into the algorithm so I can have clothes. Join the Patreon. It's $1. What? Nothing's $1. You're goddamn right, not in this world. But the Patreon, $1. A buckaroonie. Not even hard. My roommate was staying at his girlfriend's house for like a week or two. And he just got home and he got a PS5. You guys ever fuck with that shit? We played NFL. We played NFL 25 or whatever. Madden 25. Sorry. Obviously he whipped my ass. I was the Kansas City Chiefs, the best team on the game. And he was the Northwest Lions, my high school football team, and he whipped my ass, and we never won any games. That game is fucking hard. You got to really know what you're doing, and you got to make sure you don't don't drop back to pass when it's a run play. You can't just be hitting buttons on that game. It's not like other games. You really got to know what you're doing. So he whipped my ass, and then this is what he did. He tried to sell, he was like, hey, you want to play Red Dead Redemption? And he tried to sell it to me like how you'd sell a kid. They're like, oh, do you want to go to the DMV? And the kid's like, what's there? It's like, it's the only place you can, if you want to drive a car, you got to go there. They're like, could I drive a car? They're like, maybe if we go. So I was like, could I ride a horse? He's like, yeah, if we fucking play Red Dead Redemption. So he put it on. And before he did it, I was like, hey, one time I've played Fallout. And I was like, the game was kind of boring. You literally have to build yourself into a fucking Iron Man suit, but you have to like find every single screw. And some of them it's literally the size of America. And sometimes you're in Colorado and you're like, the other screw might be in Virginia. And you have to walk there. It goes, oh, one of your screws fell out. You bend over and pick it. It was just too slow for me, and that was what this game was. And he kept going, yeah, it's kind of slow, but it picks up. And I just fell asleep watching my roommate ride a horse on a video game. Not something I thought I would do when I saw other adults. If you'd have told me that's something that you could look forward to, is that you'll just be like, all right, you can play Red Dead Redemption, then you'll watch them, and you're like, this game fucking sucks ass. And I know there's some fucking diehard gamers out there that are like, Red Dead's one of the best. It's beautiful, but it's like Grand Theft Auto on a horse. Yeah. You know what would suck? Life on a horse. That's why we stopped riding horses. Like even bikes, we still ride those, but like anytime you see a cop on a horse, you're like, okay, is that, you got an off day? Because until I see there's an Amber Alert comes out and then every horse in the area is looking for a blue Nissan, just fly. Until that happens, I'm just going to assume that they walk up and down the street, shit in the street, and be like, well, we can't pick it up. We got to go to a domestic dispute on a horse. And then if you get arrested, do you get on the horse? Same with those pickup trucks. You ever see those pickup trucks? You're like, could you imagine getting arrested with your arms behind you going fucking 60? You hit a bump and get knocked out of the back of a cop pickup truck? It's not what you want. That's a podcast. No, yeah, it is. It's gonna ice or snow here in Austin. And I'm sure everything's gonna fuck. But I got heat now, which is nice. Finally got heat, and I've said many times in email form, I go, hey, can no one walk into my apartment? I'm fine. Let's make an appointment. You can even make it last minute. I'll make sure I'm home. Always have been. And they go, hey, the guy will stop by tomorrow. Didn't even let me know ahead of time. He goes, hey, they're going to come by at 11. I go, you know what? That was last minutes the night before. I'll make sure I'm here. Just please make sure no one comes into my apartment without me letting them in, because sometimes I live here, so I might have my cock and balls out. But we almost live in a time where people are like, not even in your own house should you ever have your wiener out. But someone they knocked. I was walking to the front door, and all of a sudden we were saying hello in my living room. And I was like, and then I called the front, and the guy was like, you know what? He goes, it's my bad. And here's the thing. Nothing means anything anymore. Nothing. If they're like, my bad, doesn't matter if your tire's fucking fucked up and the guy's like, get over here, we got some tires for you, and they lie. No, it doesn't. There is no, you got to get that through your head. There's nothing bad about lying. I'm new to it. I'm treating it like Tai Bo, and I'm like, double time, lie. People are like, what do you lie about? Whatever the fuck I want. Bobby, have you told me? Fucking probably. What'd you do yesterday? Fucking worked. And then if I told them that it's like I wrote fart and dick jokes, they'd be like, that's not work. I'm like, you wish you had this work. You wish you could be Babaloo writing jokes about your pee and poo. Don't you? Scooby Poopy Poo, where are you? Okay, now I'm losing the bit. That is what happens. That's the inside scoop. You write a little bit of fart jokes, and then eventually one day you have writer's block on fart jokes, and then you just eat some fiber, and those jokes come right back out. If you really have writer's block, I just want to let you know it's just the fucking you haven't shit in a minute. Because if you're shitting, you're writing jokes. I don't know how it works with music. I don't know what makes music. Probably, it seems like it's fucking probably drugs. But with stand-up, we don't do that fucking shit. We really work with just our minds and our hearts. So, we're not saying we're better than you, but it's like, well, we all know how to play a D chord on a guitar. But then I'm like, have you ever done an open mic? They're like, no, I'd never go to an open mic. What am I even mad about? Life is good, It's not. But what else is there you gotta swing for the fences, even if you miss. You fucking missed. It actually would suck. People are like, if you shoot for the moon and if you miss, you'd be very scared because you don't land amongst the stars for like 1 billion years. So I'm sure people are like, hey, shoot for the moon. And I'm like, maybe don't shoot. Maybe put your gun away. Maybe put your body cannon away that shoots you to the moon and be like, you know what? I should just be grateful for what I have. That's what I did. Like the other day I needed groceries and I was like, you know what? You can ask ChatGPT what kind of food you can make with what you have left. And ChatGPT will be like, you ever had pasta and Greek yogurt mixed together? Bring a water to a boil. All my pans are dirty. Just fucking dip them in the yogurt. You guys never had nothing like this. I remember one time I was high at a party with my friends, and we were all such poor comics that I was at their house, and I like opened up the fridge, and my buddy's like, "There's like nothing in there." So then I tried to be a hero, and I found potatoes. Found some potatoes, or no, not potatoes. I found some peanut butter and some just noodles, just like straight noodles, and we weren't gonna cook them. And I just started dipping them in the peanut butter, and I took a bite, and I was like, "God, you guys gotta try it." And my buddy was like, "No," and I was like, "You don't even know what you're missing." He's like, "Yeah, because it's not like a flavor infusion." My buddy Steve was like, "It's like I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm eating a fucking raw pasta with PB on it." And then I took another bite. I was like, yeah, you're right, but my stomach really, really needs food. It's like when people would like eat their own hair. They're like, you need to have your belly full. God. Not me, though. I don't even eat breakfast. And people are like, that's a problem. I'm like, it is. And then I almost pass out. And then I'm like, fine, I'll try some breakfast. Okay, Google, is breakfast really the most important meal of the day?
On the website betterhealth.vic.gov.au, they say, Breakfast is often called the most important meal of the day, and for good reason. As the name suggests, breakfast breaks the overnight fasting period. It replenishes your supply of glucose to boost your energy levels and alertness, while also providing other essential nutrients required for good health.
I don't fucking believe that shit. Well, and also it's not breakfast for me because here's what I do. I don't eat all day, and then at night I eat like an absolute monster. And then while I'm going to bed, I let my body work through the night to digest that body, which is one of the worst things I've heard you can do. So that's my breakfast. And then my lunch is waking up and being like, I don't feel very good. So then even if I ate breakfast, it would be a dinner. So if anything, I'm skipping dinner. But I eat the most important meal of the day, which is the most fun meal, which is Taco Bell, and then ice cream, and then figuring out what other things you haven't eaten that aren't expired and be like, pickles. I love pickles. Why? They were left. That's what's left in my fridge. I swear to God, the other day I was like doing a thing where I was like rolling ham with some. This is for my poor boys, and rolling them in cream cheese, and then putting that, and then pretzels inside, and then pickles. And I literally thought in my head, I was like, I can't wait to make this for someone one day. And I'm like, who? The other guy you live with on the street? Couldn't imagine going to someone's house and they make a fucking turkey roll up, ham roll up. And you go, you want to try this? And you go, I'm going to assume you touched that. So no. I was like, Bobby, lucky boy. Bobby is so lucky that he can have ham roll ups. I started like looking in the fridge and being like that is when I get the most creative. It's not when I have everything at my disposal. That's whenever I'm like DiGiorno pizza. Just went to the grocery store. Whole fucking Pizza. Give me pizza. Pizza. Give me pizza. Yeah, I watched Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen when I was a kid. Do they still do that cruise? There was like a thing when you'd watch at the beginning, they'd be like, come join Mary-Kate and Ashley on the cruise. I'd be like, Mom, Dad. And they're like, shut up. We're yelling. Come take a family photo. All right. I'll take one more. Better get a dirt bike and fucking tell everyone our family kicks ass. Oh. God, I really need to take a shower. I don't know if you can tell. You can tell. But I'm not gonna. Don't got time. I ain't got time for that shower shit. Bobby, that's disgusting. Well, showers cost money. They really don't cost that much money. I don't even think you pay for water in Texas. Tomorrow, we're going to pay for it when everything fucking freezes. Well, Bobby, just let your stuff keep running. All my drains are clogged. I actually did unclog them the other day. I was the one who I fixed my fucking light when it fell down. I fucking rehung it. And then, whenever the garbage disposal got too much, you know who took care of that? Oh, Bobalina. My sweet, sweet Bobalina. That's what he did. He fucking saved our lives. Thank you. This one's for you, Bob. When it's too cold, you'll be a jackass until you get heat. And they'll pretend you're being rude. You're being a little rude in 30-degree weather in your apartment. You know what? Never thought about it like that. As a guy who just stopped sleeping on the ground and is finally ready to have everything together, why would it all work out? But I'm better like this. Could you imagine if it was working out for me, that version of Bob? The Bobby that has everything paid up, everything's like, what's that Bobby do? Just sit back and say stuff like, shit. Like, no, the frantic Bob is the Bob the universe is. It's telling me it's the outfit it likes to see me in the best. I keep trying other outfits. I'm like, what about fully financially stable? And then it's like, it just shakes its head. It's like, no. And I try it on another outfit. I'm like, no depression. They're like, get out of here. I'm like, kind to everybody. What's that going to do? Everyone's going to step all over that outfit. So then you fucking eventually put on this one where you're like, okay, how about I have like bad luck and it never, anytime I'm ever driving my car, something's going to fall off of it. And they're like, that's the one. Thanks, universe. This is going to attract this stuff. Mm-hmm. Or you're actually just a person in other people's stories. God help us all. If you would cite me as a person that's like, you're like, you know who, I wouldn't be here without Bobby. Fuck, I'm so sorry you don't have more people that care about you. I'm just being silly. What are you doing? Fucking listen to someone else's dreams and thoughts, and you start a podcast and send it to me. Send it to 02134. Send it to Zoom. What was the rest of it? P.O. Box 02134. But what state was it in? Okay, Google, what was the Zoom address? When you wanted to write into the kids show Zoom, what was that address?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay. Everyone's seen Zoom. What the fuck was it? Send it to P.O. Box 02134. I can't touch latex. I'm going to sit this one out because balloons make me throw up. There was that girl, and then there's the, I don't remember. I'm trying to remember some of the other kids. And then they would like change the cast like SNL, and you would just have to get used to it while they would like do experiments. I remember I sent in one time, I was like, I know how to make a homemade Band-Aid, and I would watch I'm like, oh, why didn't they use a tape and a Kleenex? Why didn't they use my tourniquet idea? I said, where you can, if you have a bullet hole, you can melt a crayon in your hole, in the fucking bullet hole. Why didn't they use that? I don't know. God damn. What the fuck else is new? Nothing really. This is like the first time there's been nothing, like less chaos, because instead of going out into the world, I've just been doing shit that I can get done at home and on my computer and phone and stuff. And boy, if that ain't right, nothing can happen. Maybe Angie Jaycox knows why you don't go anywhere. She's like, I just like my house. I'm like, that's so boring. But you know what she has? All of her wheels intact. Definitely doesn't have the state of Delaware being like, did you drive through us one time and never pass back? I'm like, no. Why would I do that? And by the time they send the other letter, I live in a different place already. Send me the letters. I'm going to live in New York soon. Yeah. It's the only place that, you can live where trash is everywhere. The people, trash. The trash, trash. The fun, honestly, so much fun though. I love New York. I really do. I want to every time a comic tells me they're going to New York, I get so fucking jacked for them. It's the best city. It's the best city to fucking lose your brain at. Just to see pigeons just be like fucking, you're like, did that pigeon just steal from me? Was that pigeon smoking? Mm-hmm. Only in New York City, baby. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, and we do. Oh, that is it. I was like, there's something I do want to tell you. In about a week, I have a big announcement. So I'm very excited. Maybe you could see me near you. Maybe if you don't live in a major city, you might not. Maybe we say we're coming to your city and you go, what, not Chicago? I'm like, it definitely says Chicago on there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Well, oh, my fucking computer's yelling at me about something. Fucking dropped. Sorry about that, Zach Bartz. I dropped Zach Bartz's fucking artwork. You can get some more Zach Bartz art if you ever go to Chicago, Illinois. Funny enough, it fell because I was talking about Chicago. That's where he's from. And one time I went to a bar and I was like, this looks like Zach Bartz art. And they were like, it is. I was like, that's fucking cool. I love that guy. And you know what I love? We live in a time now where comedy is becoming like so popular that he had posted a video and someone I know shared it. I'm like, I know that guy. And then someone else like shared a tweet of someone I know. I'm like, I know that guy. We're the modern day poets in the fact that we don't have any money and sometimes people are tired of listening to us. Someone's like, get to the fucking point, buddy. I don't have one. Isn't that okay sometimes? Do I always have to have a point? Because if that is, then this is not a podcast for you. You do not want this. I also went through these boxes behind me, which has all my stuff from St. Louis. I'll tell you this. Just much like taking psychedelics, you got to be in a good place before you go through memories. Don't be in a weird place and open up a box that has memories that are fucking all different kinds and just think that you can go through it and be like, I could throw some of this away. Because if you're like me, you'll be like, no, this paperclip was, I remember one time I had it while I was thinking about my grandma, and then later my grandma texted me. So this pink paperclip is always going to be with me. And then you go through some other stuff, and then you're like, oh my God, I got this from Story of the Year before I knew it. And then you start crying, and then you're like, well, I guess I'm not cleaning. Bobby, it sounds like there might be more Nuh-uh. Hey, Zach. Zach, are you leaving? Will you sign me up? All right, I'll meet you. You want to play chess at Yup? All right, I'll play you at Yup. All right, later. He didn't want to be on the podcast because he had to leave early, and now he's going to help me out, which is very sweet of him. I know I talk about how dirty he is, but he's also really good at Madden, so sometimes you got to give props where props is due. Got to give your props to Pops. And but then I did play him in what's the Madden for golf? The Masters. We played the Masters, and he showed me how to play. But god damn, if I didn't fucking almost went into the last hole, I was down by like 3 or whatever, which is good. In golf, all the sports can't keep the same point systems, and that's a probably a treaded on premise. But I'll say this. The fucking Masters, he's like, this one's a little bit harder. It's a little bit more technical. And then he showed me how to do it. And I was like, not if I play with John Daly. It wasn't John Daly. Who was it? It was another older guy. But he had fucking wooden sticks. He was pumping them out. Dude, this motherfucker was pumping them out on the fucking freeway. The greenway. Bye, Zach. That's my roommate. You can probably see him on the podcast one time, and we'll fucking shit on each other like we do in real life, which is fun. Last night I watched me and Owen, our friend Owen, they were playing Madden, and then they started playing hockey, and me and his girlfriend were just talking, and I was like, at one point he looked back, he's like, dude, I'm glad you guys are having fun. I'm like, we're just girls back here gabbing. And I played football in high school. But the older I get, I'm just like, I just don't care. And if we went to a fucking game, I'd have fun. I know what's going on. I mean, sometimes I get confused because I don't keep up. But I can't seem to care. And even when I lived in St. Louis, my best friend, dude, he watched fucking football all the time, and I would watch with him, but I couldn't seem to care. And he was the same way with stand-up. Like, he liked stand-up, but it's not like he's going to make it his fucking life. And he would always say this, too. He's like, well, imagine if stand-up was only like fucking like 12 weeks out of the year, And I'm like, that's a pretty good point. And then the rest of it was just talking about doing stand-up. I was like, you're right. That's why I chose the best vocation, unless you care about being able to afford vacation. This is the best vocation to do stand-up, unless you want to afford a vacation. Your life's always kind of like a vacation, but it's like a vacation where you're like, can I please speak to the manager? Bobby, I want to do stand-up, and I would always tell you to do that. Unless you like comfort, pretty much in every sense of the word. If you like not waking up like, ugh! But every once in a while, you'll be like, was that Joe Rogan? Then do this. And I know I talked about that on previous episodes. I'm just trying to let you know, because I know that I do that too with Story of the Year. Every once in a while, I listen to them on their podcast, or I'll watch them do a show, and I pick up my guitar, and I'm like, I'm 2 seconds away from being them. And they're like, yes, but you'd have to start. You don't get to be, you got to start. You're going to have to do what we would do in high school. You got to work at Pizza Hut. And if you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, then you're probably not going to be in Story of the Year. I will one day, though. I will be in Story of the Year. One day when they're like, hey, this guy can't play guitar or sing. I can do both pretty good, actually. But they're like, he can't do both. But then somehow just from liking them so much, they'll throw me the guitar and I'll just know how to play it. Just fuck you watch. Bobby, that probably won't happen. I didn't shit on your dreams just now. If anything, I talked you up. Okay, that's how we end this? Okay, we need to go to podcast counseling. You can't be shitting on. They always do this to me. But they don't do it on Patreon, which you can join for $1 Bob. We'll end with some ASMR. It's pretty gross, actually. Pretty sweaty. All right, I'm ending on that. And you're lovely, and I love you. Kisses. Bye.